skydiving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Sorry, I got a text. I was thinking of something, and then I just forgot I was live. So here we are. Welcome. Good morning. You may hear a lot of noise. We're getting Windows installed. We're getting new Windows. We're getting new Windows. I'm going to close my door here. Yeah, I'll be able to open the windows without the cats escaping. Without the cats escaping. Because we have those windows where you, the old aluminum ones, we gotta crank it open. Half the time the thing just spins. Woo, woo, woo. You just gotta push the window open. But those things don't hold screens very well. They're all gone. So it would be nice to have more windows with screens that we can open and let in the fresh air. Yay. So also make it less drafty in here. It's pretty drafty. So it's a good house though. Good house. Today we're going to talk about tradition 4. I thought it might be good to get into some traditions. I'm thinking about doing a tradition study maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I think a lot of things. So welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host today. I hope you're having a good day. Starting to feel better. I'm getting there. So if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. That would be great stuff. All right, let's get started. If you have a 12 by 12, please feel free to read along. I'm on page 146, tradition 4. I don't think it's too long now. It's only a couple pages. I read pretty fast. So. Oh, what is that? I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. If you do, I apologize, but I'm still going to do this unless it gets so noisy that we can't do it. So, but they're on the other side of the house right now. All right, tradition 4. Each group should be autonomous, except as in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. What does autonomous mean? Let's find out. Where's my book? Here it is. I can use this. The Big Book Dictionary. My friend Amber gave this to me. Let's go look up autonomous. It's got to be in here. I have to remember how to. It's AU. Autonomous. Independent. Not subject to the rule or control of others. That means you can't tell people what to do. Okay? That means you gotta let people in. Okay. So autonomy is a $10 word. But in relation to us, it means very simply that every AA group can manage its affairs exactly as it pleases, except when AA as a whole is threatened. Comes now the same question raised in Tradition 1. Isn't such liberty foolishly dangerous? Over the years, every conceivable deviation from our 12 and 12 and traditions has been tried. Okay, and they listed them. They let us know the mistakes that they made. Okay, so that we don't have to repeat them. That was to be sure. That was sure to be, since we were so largely a band of ego-driven individuals, children of chaos. We have defiantly played the every brand. We have defiantly played with every brand of fire, only to emerge unharmed. We think wiser. These very deviation create a vast process of trial and error, which, under the grace of God, has brought us to where we stand today. When AA's traditions were first published in 1946, we had become sure that an AA group could stand almost any amount of battering. We saw that the group, exactly like the individual, must eventually conform to whatever tested principles would guarantee survival. All right. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. We had discovered that there was a perfect safety in the process of trial and error. So confident of this, we had become that the original statement of AA tradition carried this significant sentence. Any 2 or 3 alcoholics gathered together for sobriety may call themselves an AA group, provided as a group they have no other affiliation. What is an affiliation, friends? LGBTQ is an affiliation. Okay. I'm not against LGBTQ meetings. I'm not. I get it. I understand. They should. My point is they shouldn't have to exist. Okay. I'm not saying they're wrong. They're absolutely right. I'm saying the other people are wrong. We have open and closed meetings. That's it. What about women's meetings? What about men's meetings? Are those? No. Those are gender. Okay. We're going to keep it simple here. Okay. This meant, of course, that we had been given the courage to declare each group an individual entity, strictly relying on its own conscience as to guide to action. In chartering this enormous expanse of freedom, we found it necessary to post only 2 storm signals. Just 2. A group ought not do anything that would greatly injure AA as a whole, nor ought to affiliate itself with anything or anybody else. That's the first one. There would be real danger should we commence to call some groups wet, others dry, still others Republican or communist, yet others Catholic or Protestant. The AA group would have to stick to its course or be hopelessly lost. Sobriety had to be its sole objective. In all other respects, there was perfect freedom of will and action. Every group had the right to be wrong. So here we are. Tradition 4 gives the group the right to be wrong, kind of like step 10. Okay, but as a group, you're going to have to take care of these things. Okay, so we can be autonomous. Like with the meetings that I'm running, I'm going a little bit more old-fashioned. Okay, I'm going back to an original script. Okay, where I ask things like, is there anybody here looking for a sponsor? Not, are you willing to sponsor? Please raise your hand. That's wrong. I don't know why that got changed. All right. It's so hard for me to do this stuff when there's noise right above my head, but I will do it. Hopefully it's not bothering you guys too much. So when AA was still young, lots of eager groups were forming in a town we'll call Middleton. A real crackerjack had started up. The townspeople were as hot as firecrackers about it. Stargazing, the elders dreamed of innovations. They figured the town needed a great big alcoholic center, kind of pilot plant AA groups could duplicate everywhere. Beginning on the ground floor, there will be a club. In the second story, there will be sober up drunks, hand them currency for their back debts. And third deck would house an educational project. Quite non-controversial, of course. Okay. I'm seeing people trying to do this today. Right now. I see people doing this, trying to do this. They're trying to do it through RCOs and sober livings and recovery coaching. None of us are the alpha omega. We do not cover everything. We have but one primary purpose: to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. Trust me, there is enough work there. There's enough work there. We don't need to go searching for more. There's plenty. In imagination, the Gleaming Center was to go up several stories more, but 3 would do for a start. This would all take a lot of money, others' people money. It always takes other people's money. And when it takes other people's money, no. It's not going to work. Not in the recovery sense. Believe it or not, wealthy folk, townsfolk bought the idea. Of course they did. We're smart. We're very good at manipulating when we want to get what we want, especially when we say we're going to come in. We tend to think we're saviors. We're not. I can't save anybody. There were, though, a few conservative dissenters among the alcoholics. They wrote the foundations, AA's headquarters in New York, wanting to know about this sort of streamlining. They understood that the elders, just to nail things down good, were about to apply for the foundation for a charter. These few were disturbed and skeptical. Of course, there was a promoter in the deal, a super promoter. By his eloquence, he allayed all fears, despite advice from the foundation that they could issue no charter and that ventures and mixed with AA, with medication and education, had come to sticky ends elsewhere. So let's stop it. Let's just start. See, when I say things like recovery has become too clinical, this is stuff that I'm talking about. See, we start in AA and then we start to think that we frickin' know better. I'm going to tell you, we don't. Okay? The directions have been laid out, and you can either repeat what they did and you can either not read what they did and then be doomed to repeat it, or you can listen and do it the right way. Those are the options here. Those are the options. To make things safer, the promoter organized 3 corporations and became president of them all. Freshly painted, the new center shone. The warmth of it spread through the town. Soon things began to hum. To ensure proof continuous operations, 61 rules and regulations were adopted. 61 rules. Aren't you glad we only have one? And that's a desire to stop drinking. That's it. There are no other. Everything else is suggested, recommended. You don't have to. But don't come whine to us when it don't work. But alas, the bright scene was not long in the darkening. Confusion replaced serenity. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That would be very confusing. Because now what you've done is you said, hey, newcomers, you decide your path. And then we don't give them direction. And then they're going to clamor for everything. Because they're greedy little children. Okay? They're going to clamor for this shit. It was found that some drunks yearned for education, but doubted if they were alcoholic. The personality defects of others could be cured with maybe a loan. Yeah, money's never the answer. Some were club-minded, but were just a question of taking care of a lonely heart. Sometimes the swarming applicants would go for all 3 floors. Some would start at the top and come through to the bottom, becoming club members. Others started in the club, pitched a bench, were hospitalized, and graduated to education on the 3rd floor. It was a beehive activity, all right. But unlike a beehive, it was confusion compounded. An AA group as such simply couldn't handle this sort of project. All too late, that was discovered. Then came the inevitable explosion, something like that day the boiler burst in Wombley's clapboard factory. A chill, choked damp of fear and frustration fell over the group. When that lifted, a wonderful thing happened. The head promoter wrote the foundation office. He said he'd wish he had paid some attention to AA experience. Okay. I've had a super promoter approach me, a lot of money, NFL. It was a little over a year ago. Okay. But they wanted to do shit like this. And I said, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We cannot do something like that. That is too intermingled. We have what primary purpose? And they didn't really like that answer. Okay, but it just wasn't going to work. And I didn't want to waste everybody's time and money just so I could have NFL backing. No. Ain't going to do it. Okay. Why? Look, because they already told me it wouldn't work. And I believe them. When that lifted, a wonderful thing happened. He said that he wished to pay attention to AA's experience. Then he did something else that was to become an AA classic. It all went on a little card about the golf score size. The cover read Middleton Group, number 1, Rule 62. Once the card was unfolded, a single pungent sentence leaped onto the eye. Don't take yourself too damn seriously. Thus it was that under tradition 4, an AA group had exercised its right to be wrong. Moreover, it had performed a great service for Alcoholics Anonymous because it had been humbly willing to apply the lessons it had learned. It had picked itself up with a laugh and gone on to better things. Even the chief architect standing in the ruins of his dream could laugh at himself, and that is the very acme of humility. Right? So we can be autonomous, except when to do so will injure, will injure AA as a whole. Right? So none of us speak for AA as a whole. None of us do. But these books are the same exact size. Okay? And each group is autonomous. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's going to get a lot louder in a second, so I'm going to let you go. Thank y'all. I love you. Peace out, and have a day.